Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. Hope you had a great weekend. Well, over the weekend was when it sort of boiled over, something that had been in the air. I'm talking about the Senate pay, in fact, and Senator Shehu Sani of Kaduna spilling the beans, shall we say, on his institution. He simply told us how much they are really getting per month, which has been a figure that has been very, very, very difficult to come by. Just about everybody who was concerned, metaphorically, would just be spreading their palms, don't know anything, don't know what it is. Now Shehu Sani walks in and, so to speak, says that, it's a lot of money. In fact, 13.1 million naira by way of allowances. But to be fair, the actual salary is somewhere in the region of, 750,000 consolidated. But then on top of that, allowances, we now have, 13.1 million naira. And by the way, these two figures, 750, 13.1, that's apart from allowances for cars, for furniture, for, and all those kind of things. And that's also apart from 200 million naira constituency allowance, but, they have to produce, receipts accounting for that. My guest this morning is Monday Onyekachi Ubani, Second National Vice President, MBA. I like to say senior advocate in waiting. He doesn't like it when I say that, but it's just something I do say. So thanks a lot, Onyekachi, for coming on.
My pleasure, sir.
Indeed.
The only chief on television.
Everybody wants to be a senator. I say that because governors want to become senators, in fact, it's like almost like a do-or-die affair for some governors. After serving their 8 years, they're lucky enough, even if it's for self, and they will still try and to get into the Senate.
Yes.
I say respectfully that I wouldn't be surprised to find out that you also have senatorial aspirations somewhere in the future.
It's a prayer point.
It's a prayer
It's
point.
a prayer point,
with that kind of allowance. But jokes apart.
Yes.
What can we learn from this? What can we take from this? I mean, it's people have called it jumbo pay. Femi Falana put out something saying it's illegal. It's an illegal pay that they've given to themselves. But mum was the word. And if you don't have, I think police have a very difficult time sort of prosecuting a murder if there's no body.
Yes.
They don't have a body, it's difficult.
Witness,
Since we didn't have any information on this, we were just managing. What do you feel now, Onyekachi, now that Shehu Sani has spilled the beans, so to speak?
The point is that he has just confirmed what was already out there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a public
what people
knowledge,
were
yes.
sort of, they knew, but didn't have the proof.
The sagas of this world, so many activists, have been. Yes.
Professor Sage having said that the Nigerian legislature is the most highly paid in the world.
Yeah, he put that out 2 or 3 years ago. They called him all manner of names and all that. And then the activists also have been saying this, that these guys are the highest paid in the entire world. And they denied it. And it took Sani, who is virtually now on the verge of probably leaving the Senate, in the next 1 year, to reveal this, because this is almost the 3rd year of this administration. We had expected this earlier, from somebody like him, but it's better late than never. Now he has confirmed what we have been speculating and what we've been saying, that what these guys are earning is clearly disproportionate to the workings of the economy. In a country
and to the value Nigerians are probably getting.
Yes, the value, yes, the output. Nigerians are living in penury. Nigerians are living in abject poverty. The issue of basic infrastructures are lacking, education.
Salaries are being owed.
Salaries are being owed.
But nobody owes them salaries.
How much are we talking about? 18,000.
18,000 minimum wage.
And then somebody is earning 13 or 15 million. Because,
let's just round it all up.
Somebody came up to confirm that it is 45. They collect in a quarter.
In a quarter, okay.
So a quarter is 3 months. And then 700,000, 750 monthly salary. And as you rightly pointed out, it does not include newspaper allowances, other car allowances and all that. So you can imagine how much the economy has actually been bleeding in keeping few people in Nigeria. at the expense of majority. It's so annoying. It's so frustrating. I feel violated. I don't know what Nigerians now will do with this information that the senator has actually divulged. I don't know whether they will take it kindly or they will react and they will stop this. It's important we stop this.
Okay, but Femi Falana called it an illegal pay, awarding to themselves.
That's right.
But right now, if it were illegal, the police would have moved in, the Attorney General, everybody would have moved in. So technically speaking, they're covered. It's not illegal. How can we say that, distinguished senators of the Federal Republic have been involved in illegalities from 1999 or so? So technically,
yes,
at least nobody took any concrete information to anywhere to try and effect a change.
yes.
The senators might well think that you guys out there don't know what we're suffering. We're worth it. It's just that we're also sensitive. That's why we weren't able to tell you this before until Shehu Sani went and blabbed.
Yes.
But now it's out there.
Yes.
What do you think they're thinking?
I don't know what they are thinking, but I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
We have a Revenue Mobilization Commission.
Yes.
That is an agency that's supposed to be in charge of
It has always been looking the other way.
Beautiful. Now, is it proper for members of the House to sit and allocate allowances to themselves without the intervention of an agency that is actually so constituted? Is it legal? Is it legitimate? I'm presiding over the House. I sit down and I say, this is how much I'm going to earn as my allowance. And that is not done by agency of government. And that is where I'm sure why Femi Falana is saying it's clearly illegal. Because if the agency that is actually, under the law that's supposed to do that was not the one that allocated these allowances, then it is illegal. It is illegitimate. Now, mind you this, I am not saying that members of the House should not earn legitimate allowances. I'm not also saying that those who are representing us should be paid peanut. I am totally in support of people who work for the government to earn good salaries and allowances. I went to Singapore and I found out from the taximan that that conveyed me to, he was telling me that people who are in government earn good money. And that's why if you are caught in corruption in Singapore, you are dealt with squarely and severely because you have no reason to do that. You are being paid good salary, you are being paid good allowances. Well, so in Singapore.
At least for whatever it is worth, our own senators are
not
involved in any form of corruption.
Who says so? So we have not come to that. What I'm saying is that I'm not against people who work for the government, not earning good salary and all that. But what we're saying is that in the light of the peculiar economy we're operating, in the light of the fact that majority are actually living in abject poverty, in the light of the fact that we've been in recession over these years, in the light of the fact that our basic infrastructures are totally decayed, we are not getting value even from the members who are representing you. You go in there to pass ordinary bill, you find out that it has to take several years before you penetrate and get, the laws passed, especially when the law is in the interest of the masses. They are very, very, they find it very repulsive doing that. Yesterday, I was in a meeting where we were discussing about seeking for an enactment of a particular act, we were trying to, maybe push through. Somebody said, please do not go there. Because of his past experience, he said, over the years, he has been pushing for some legislative reforms and some laws. And some of them, 11 years, you will lobby, and they keep on making monetary demands. And he said it. So it becomes a nightmare when you are asked to go to the National Assembly to enact any particular act into law. Because to him, it's something that we should forget it. But that is not what happened in America. That is not what happened in UK. The lawmakers are there for the interest of the people. They enact laws that will advance society, that will, bring joy and happiness to the people they are representing. But that is contrary to what we're having here. So even if they're earning that big amount of salary and they are doing what we have sent them there, we might as well say, let's endure. But we are not getting the output. No. And then it is also disproportionate to the workings of the economy.
Exactly. And now that the cat is out of the bag,
yes.
I just sort of wonder, in the National Assembly, generally speaking,
Yes.
there are maybe, a cream, maybe the top 10, 15%, maybe 20% of guys who have been used to, swanky, wages and all of that, who have been used to living large and well.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't fixed for that 15, 20%. But since they couldn't just say it's just us 20% or when get this census, everybody else, the other 75, 80%, some of whom people draw cartoons sometimes and show sleeping while debates are going on and all of that kind of a thing, they also are now benefiting from all of this. Okay, for now, it's a done deal. But, I don't know, nothing is going to change. You know how we are. You know this society. If it was going to change, I imagine we've had activists before Shehu Sani go to the National Assembly. Right. Now that I'm hearing this, we wonder why those activists, for instance, your very good self,
yes,
just theoretically, if you were to go to the Senate, I'd expect fully that any untoward thing in there would be responsibly communicated to the people.
That's right.
But that's not what we have over there.
Yeah.
Senator Ben Broof, in a sort of not really related, he was in the news for highlighting Canadian doctors actually protesting their salary increase when nurses and other hospital workers and patients are having a hard time. That's right. Canadian doctors are protesting that
I read it.
You are paying us too much.
That's right.
The part is where the man now said that, Senator Ben Broof said that Nigerian doctors go on strike for more pay. Yes. Their colleagues somewhere else are going. So you can imagine the blowback that has given him, that maybe you should protest your own salary as well first.
I agree with you. That's why Nigerians are actually commending Shehu. It's very important we do this.
He's the man of the moment right now.
Because he actually, made a very profound statement. He said he would like a situation where these bogus allowances will be stopped. He also talked about the constituency project.
Yes, 200 million.
200 million that he also wanted to stop. And then he also advised Nigerians, to avoid this issue of coming to senators or legislative members, asking for one thing or the other, school fees, and all that. Because these are the things that actually also push them into, collecting these allowances.
I'm afraid that's a cultural
thing. Even if it's a cultural thing, we must evolve to the level where we begin to give services, build basic infrastructures for our people, and not this stipend that we give to people. Yeah. If the economy is functioning well, why will a man leave his house and come to the house of a senator, early in the morning begging for money?
Because they are aware, they knew without having proof that these guys
have been collecting 10, 15 million I agree with you, because if they
knew,
I agree with you.
Let me go there. Yeah, he thinks he's being kind, but I'm getting my share of the national cake.
I agree with you, because
it's become ridiculous.
If they know they're not being paid much, they won't be going there. Because even if you come, I will tell you, look at what my salary is.
Yes.
Where do you think I will get this extra money you are demanding from me? So I think we must cultivate a culture. There is a profound statement that I made over 7 years ago. We were invited to talk about this issue of why do we have political violence, in election, and why do we kill, why do we have to maim? And I mentioned this, that as long as political office is not well defined in Nigeria, there are people who go in there, become multi-millionaires overnight. There is no way people will not kill in order to get in there. The moment we define public office to be for service, that if you are going there, it's for you to go and create a name and then come back to your private practice in order to earn the goodwill. Because whatever you are now doing, it is the goodwill you have earned in public service that will give you money, and not what you make in public service. That is what goes on in developed economies.
So you'd be a professional in politics, But that's not what we have here.
That is not what we have here.
Everybody, when INEC has concluded the exercise and announces that, therefore, this guy, this madam is duly elected.
That's right.
She or he is automatically a millionaire many times over instantly.
Sometimes now they become billionaires now.
There you go.
If you see some senator's house, I attended a program, a conference in Calabar, and we were opportune to visit a senator, and we went to his house. And we saw the house. It is out of this world.
Yeah, but you can
and
do
there is no way.
You can do a lot with 15 million a month.
No. Even now they are talking about Ekweremadu, owning houses all over the place.
Why will he not?
Why will he not? Now he has been the deputy. Now this money we are talking about, 13 or 15 million, it's not for the officers.
No, it's not.
The Senate president and all that, theirs is in the category of other 30 or more than that. In a month. Because the allowances are so bogus. So why won't Ekweremadu buy all the houses all over if it is as alleged? I don't know whether it's true, but I hear it's going to be arraigned this week and all that. But the point is this. These guys are exposed to too much money from the system. There are no checks and balances. There are no checks and balances. And as long as you don't do that in the system, there is no way people will not commit what we are seeing, happening in our nation, sir.
You see, it goes back to what you lawyers, commentators generally have always said, that this constitution that we're operating is not our constitution. Never mind we the people written in there. It's not our constitution.
That's right.
So all these things were written by a bunch of the elite, essentially for the elite, although, of course, they can't go and say that, so they now say we the people. Otherwise, we might have decided what kind of a legislature we want. Do we want people full-time or part-time? Or do we even want to have a philosophy of we don't want scoundrels in office? You must have been a success in your own personal endeavor before applying or seeking public office. And so the salary is a ridiculous 100,000 naira a month.
That's right.
Meaning that you can take care of yourself. It is evident that you
are well-to-do, you are well-to-do, and you are going there to affect lives.
So
that's
it's
why
a nominal
100,000
naira a month.
That's right.
it. Bring your own car. Don't come and find your own house. Now, there are people that would change the whole lie of the field.
You will change the entire narrative will change. You will separate the boys from the men.
Exactly.
You see those who want to go in order to create legacy, in order to create goodwill. Are you following me? Then those hungry ones will run away from the entire thing. And you find out that we will have a country that is actually sane. It depends, what do we actually want as a nation?
On that question of what we actually want as a nation, let me take a break here and ask your learned colleague, Barrister Wahab Shitu, to weigh in on the matter. We'll be right back. Stay with us, please. Okay, welcome back, and we're looking at the revelation, shall we say, of what exactly our senators, and by implication, a guesswork as to what our legislators generally are making of us at the end of the day. We've always had activists who have crossed into politics and have gone on to the National Assembly. I don't know what to say about those ones, because Sani is an activist. Senator Sani is an activist himself, but even it's taking him this long but we thank him for that. We thank him. Better late than never.
So the man is haunted by his conscience.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised. Now,
conscience is an open wound.
Now,
only truth can heal it.
You know what I'm going to guess? I'm going to guess that the Senate, the National Assembly, are not going to respond to this. They're going to keep quiet, and in fact probably come up with something like, let's look at this whole banking reforms or health sector reforms, whatever, anything.
No, I disagree with you, sir.
You think
there's no way National Assembly can keep quiet, because sovereignty belongs to the Nigerian people.
But
they are holding whatever.
They will look the other way, like RMF something is looking the other way.
But I told you that they have responded. I said it's on internet. The chief spokesperson for Senate has actually confirmed that what Sani said is nothing new. That he's surprised that Nigerians are knowing it by now. That this particular amount is in the budget. He said it. It's in the papers, sir.
Let them go away.
The man said it's in the papers. I mean, it's known to us. It's in the budget.
Sorry, is this democracy that we're practicing that expensive?
Okay. Let's bring in Madam Josephine. Good morning, Josephine in Ajah.
Uncle Yori, good morning. Long time. How are you and your guests?
Good morning, ma'am. Thank you for calling in.
Morning, madam.
God bless Uncle Banning for his comments.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, Uncle Yori, I keep on telling you that when the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? We are standing on a faulty foundation. That's why you see all manner of rubbish. This constitution that we are is carrying us to the pit already. We are not going anywhere. How can on earth somebody receiving this huge amount and they call them that they want to change? We gave them that opportunity for things to be turned around, for them to review the constitution, for them to do things that is right. Where we have a population of 180 people, only few eating the wealth of the masses. That is why you see no infrastructure, nothing is going on. We have been a laughing stock. This U.S. that we took the same democracy for, they are not receiving such amounts. Why are they wicked to the poor people? Why are they wicked? The other day, even most of these people, they are governors, former governors. They are still receiving huge amounts of pensions.
Yeah.
Taking this one. They are so wicked. We Nigerians, we must stand up and say no to this rubbish. I even think when the same APC government comes, they are going to change all these things. But look at what they are doing. They are just stay outside their pocket. They are not doing anything that will help the masses. That is why we don't have good hospitals. They go to abroad. Anytime they sick, they go. They leave the masses, including the president himself. I'm against him because he's not doing the right thing. Yeah. He's supposed to take my salary. I'm starting from myself. Let me change because now our economy is down and people are collecting this huge amount. Uncle Yori, I'm crying for this country that God should intervene because if this thing continues, we've been the laughing stock of they are calling ourselves the giants of Africa. I don't see the giants we are. We are not getting it anywhere. They should restructure this country and give us our own constitution.
All right, then. Thank you very much for calling in, Madam Josephine.
I think God bless Professor Sesage.
Yes.
God bless
because
him.
he actually...
The man said it a long time ago.
He blew this alarm a long time ago.
But I want a situation where Nigerians will get angry like this. You see, the anger is the only thing that can change the entire system. The moment majority of Nigerians get angry and they don't look at those issues, oh, where does it come from, or which religion and all that, they are looking at Nigeria as a country that needs to be saved. The moment we want to save this Nigeria, we forget all those other primordial sentiments, that we bandy about anytime, these things crop up. I tell you that a day is coming when this country is going to be saved. I have that belief.
Yes.
But I keep on let the anger. And what we are here to do is to get Nigerians, angry, and they are provoking us. They have provoked us enough.
Aware. It's not so much.
They have provoked us enough for us not to react, sir.
Oh, okay.
How can a system sustain such huge allowance for only few people?
That is why Madam Josephine alluded to the fact that APC came on change. We invested in APC. Buhari,
we believe in the change system.
We believed in the change system. But what is now coming about is that this change is not going to come because it doesn't seem to me that the status quo can be allowed to be upset. And in that kind of a situation, Nigerians
have to be the one to effect the change.
It's not yet Uhuru.
It's not yet
Uhuru. We have a change government, we have a change party, but where it matters, change isn't really happening.
Nothing has changed.
Because Josephine again alluded to the foundation, the mental foundation, in fact, if you want.
That's right.
Go there. What kind of person is being presented? They can't present themselves.
That's right.
We don't have an independent candidate.
That's right.
What kind of person is being offered by these parties?
Political parties to go and represent.
To go there.
Yes, right.
They're not offering people that are self-sustaining.
I think this failure to disclose the amount, the stupendous, humongous amount, is deliberate.
Yeah.
I think the intention is to continue to pauperize, marginalize, and sustain Nigerians. Yeah. So that with these resources at their disposal, every election they will roll out these forms.
Yes.
and then
they're coming back.
Straight.
yes.
So we're busy telling, we're busy telling ourselves what can be done with recovered loot. I don't know, that is loot that, it's really loot that those people, but it's just that it's not criminal because it's handed over to them when they sign for it.
They're the one handing over to themselves, so it's criminal. Let me tell you what.
Sorry, I've been holding on to Yakub in Dokwemu. I'll come straight back to you.
Right,
good morning, Yakub. Yakub in Dokwemu, good morning. Okay, go ahead.
We lost him.
Well, I'm also shocked that
okay, we lost him on phone.
the budget office has not created some of these salaries and allowances.
So coming to tell us that it's in the budget, it was budgeted for.
I don't know whether you read the story of a person that was caught in armed robbery. And the reason he gave is that, look, if our legislators are stealing so much, why, but my quarrel with him is that why don't you go after those who are still, and not ordinary people, who is suffering the same fate with you in Nigeria?
I think beyond this complaint, we must insist that the National Assembly as a body, as an institution, must come out with all the full facts.
Yeah, now that we know this
transparency and accountability.
I guess we should want more. We should want to know more.
That if you want to go and Google Sage gave a graphic account of what, and everything he said is conform with this figure that except those other ones you mentioned, wardrobe, shoe, all the allowances, car allowance that the man did not mention. Sani did not mention that one, but Sani was truthful with the other allowance, which according to him, you have to back it with receipt. Of course, we know how we obtain receipts in this country. You can go and manufacture receipts.
So there's also this allegation.
That what receipt? Offices up and down the line.
You can get receipt. Just go to one.
Retiring with fake receipts up and down the line.
No, there's also this allegation being made that millions are also made through budget padding.
Budget padding?
Yes.
Even when you go for oversight function, when they say they want to sit over a panel and set up a panel and begin to, what they're asking, come and settle us.
So who is overseeing the legislators?
You know why Nigerians
they have oversight.
Guide themselves.
Sir, Nigerians are angry with our legislators because the output is not commensurate with what we are, the input. Are you following me, sir?
Yes, which output?
Now,
sorry, sir. Jide Inekeja, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I want to commend my great professional men in the studio, and you also for this wonderful program. Let me just react to Barrister Ubani's last statement. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Barrister Ubani said Nigerians are angry. I don't agree with you, sir. We are not yet angry. I've been following you.
We're still smiling. We're very happy.
When we are angry,
we're suffering and smiling.
We begin to mobilize at the local level. Now, to register for PVC is so easy in the northern part of the country that even underage have been registered, and some undisclosed elements, whether they are human beings or not, we don't know. And in the south, it's so difficult to register. And we are keeping quiet. The governors are there comfortable. The commissioners are there comfortable. Members of House of Assembly are there comfortable. When elections come now, we can try to foresee what the results will be. We need a system that is fair, obviously we can see how this country is being managed. In the same National Assembly, a honorable member stood up to tell us that the life of a cow is more important to a herdsman than the life of the herdsman himself. Then who is safe in the country? Who is safe? So I don't blame them for all the salaries they collect. I mean, politics has become a high-yield investment in Nigeria. And so they give out all they could give out before the elections. So when they go in there, they recoup and laugh, and they can sleep at the National Assembly. What are the terms of reference? I'm asking this question, Barrister Ubani. What is our national vision? I studied the transformation of Singapore from a third world to a first world country. There was a vision. Where are we going?
Okay.
As we speak now, the United Nations has Sustainable Development Goals, 17 goals. Which one are we keen into? What will be the population of this country in 2030? What is happening in Abu Dhabi? What is happening in Japan? What is happening? China was the biggest economy in 1820 and found another nation taking over. They are planning now to become the biggest in 2030. They are investing across the world. And here we are. We are comfortable with Nigerians killing Nigerians, destroying businesses, people are in poverty. So I don't blame those who are lording it over us. When we are tired, we will express our tiredness.
That is the point.
Indeed. Thank you very much for calling in,
well
Jide.
spoken.
Interesting question he asks. What exactly is the Nigerian vision? And since we don't have one,
People perish.
there you go, then all of this thing will go on. The one thing that is the vision, I think, of most politically minded people is that one day I shall arrive in the National Assembly. And I shall probably practice first with my state assembly, you know, once I get a hold of that. Because we have people who started from the state assembly, rose, you know, and then moved over to the national field. Because there's a, what is it now? There's this richness of vision. That just keep yourself in good standing with your party, and they should allow you 8 years of collecting what? In one case, 15 million. I know not all of them. So you see how people are empowered, a certain class only.
Yes, it seems to me that this elite, this political class, some of them, majority of them, see politics as business.
What are you saying?
Say some.
What are you saying?
Business.
That is the
business in Nigeria. That's the cocoa of the matter.
Nobody goes to the National Assembly today. In this mix that we have,
it's chop and chop POC.
I'm sorry, you're going to have a hard job justifying your position that people actually go there for the job. In fact, if we wanted to know whether people were going there for the job, remember that my other ridiculous idea. Let it be our policy that no legislator shall get more than 100,000 naira a month. In other words, we don't pay you. We don't.
You are there to serve.
You're there to serve, and you can only do that after you've made a success in life.
You are private
if
enterprise.
Dangote were to come into the Senate, for instance, he doesn't need anybody's 15 million.
Sir. That is the point.
And those Dangotes up and down, not all of them. Dangote is the richest man in Africa. You don't need to be the richest man. People who are even maybe the 10th richest man in Nigeria, they could go to the Senate, go to the House of Reps, and serve. That would be their contribution by way of giving back. This is not giving back. Sir, this is not giving back. This is taking more.
Sir, actually go and study the life of a senator in U.S. Look at his antecedent. What you have just narrated is actually what happens.
This is where the idea came from.
Who have made success in their private enterprise are people that go to the Senate.
This is where I got the idea from.
To go and make laws for the people. Those who come into governance, actually in any of these developed economies, are people who have contributed to humanity and society in their private capacity. And they now want to affect majority of lives. They've done it in private life, but they want to now affect majority.
I don't know how far it is true, but I think I heard that American ambassadors are not paid by the American government. It's very much this arrangement that you would have made it in life, and so you don't need anybody's salary. So the honor of serving your country, outside of your country, millionaires are putting their business on hold, handing it over to someone so that they can go and become an ambassador somewhere.
So seriously speaking, sir, so when this change of a thing, the music was being, we were singing it in 2015, sir, I felt so good. I said, look, we will change the narratives. So I felt that all these things we start, the foundation of a nation is very key, the vision of a people, very important. Can we come and change the way we do things, the politics? The issue of remuneration.
Buhari wanted to do it, but he's being fought to a standstill.
So why he only? How can you have only one man believing in it? So other people do not key into that vision.
Maybe Mazi Okorafor, weigh in on that matter. Good morning.
Honestly speaking, let me tell you one thing. First of all, good morning, Mr. Yuda, our guest. See, the problem we are facing is this. And even all these senators, at the jumbo salary we are talking about, they have just gone to their own constituency, solve the problem within their own senatorial zone. I said there will be no robbery, there will be no kidnapping, there will be no Boko Haram. Now look at the situation we are facing. These senators that went to this cabinet, collecting this kind of jumbo salary, jumbo money, they are the people increasing the crime rate in this country. But if you check right now, 80% of all these crime rates are the ones they use during the election. And everybody has started and they are not recouping the money. And when they come back, they will come back and start using another group to do what? To go and fight for the election. At the end of the day, you are increasing the number of what? Criminals we have in this country. Now, the issue is this. If Nigerians want reality, there is no governor in any state should be given opportunity to go to answer senator. All the governors should go back and make use of the resources they have gathered from the state and inject it inside the state, not to go as a senator. And secondly, if Nigeria wants the truth position, all the senators that have gone, all of them spread the Bible and then people educate. And we should look for people who have a job to contest us. Many of them are just droppers. They don't have a tangible job. They go, they collect money, and come back and establish it. And they're not inside a business that will give opportunity for the youth to do what? To move. Please, we should not allow all this continuation of a jumbo salary. It's too much. Only Nigeria. You saw what happened in Kenya between the Ojinga and Kenyatta. I think they are settled. Can it happen in Nigeria? Thank you very much.
Indeed, thank you very much. I remember right now of blessed memory, Gani Fawemi, S.A.N.
Yes.
He was in politics. The kind of politics is the kind of politics that you'd expect a change administration to be following. He wasn't going to be passing anybody anything.
That's right.
But you see, we laughed at him. All of us. We didn't let him make 1 inch progress.
Yeah.
So in this, Gani Fawemi, well-loved, the people's lawyer, fighting for the common man, gave his life for the ordinary man. But he said, put my party in office, yes, and let us multiply this radicalism on behalf of the people. The very people
rejected
him.
As legislators listen to us in this discussion, very, very important discussion, they need to search their conscience. Where is the element of sacrifice? Sacrifice.
Barrister Shitu, you're coming up with all these words.
I don't know.
You sacrifice.
It's coming from...
We're talking about the Nigerian senator. We're talking about the Nigerian legislature. There is no sacrifice among the politicians, but that is, maybe let me qualify that by saying that I am aware of. What are they sacrificing? Well, when every legislator, since Dangote isn't in the Senate or the National Assembly, every legislator, no, let me paraphrase that. Most legislators have had their life improved for being in the legislature.
Yes.
I mean, demonstrably.
Yes, yes.
So it's a radical change, so much so that we heard stories of what people will do for office. If need be, you sleep overnight in a car.
Okay, about public office, being public trust.
And we go back to, these are the ideals that Buhari had.
Yes.
But as Onyekachi says, why is he alone?
Yeah.
Why is it possible for him to be fought to a standstill?
In a country
why
of
is everybody not
million?
buying into that dream, that idea?
You recall that only President Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo publicly declared the access.
Yes. Did people follow suit?
No.
Mr. Okpara in VI, good morning, sir. Did I leave it too long?
I think yes, you did.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Mr. Okpara, see if you can get in again. I'll cut myself mid-sentence if necessary. So it still goes back to, again, Wahab said, what kind of democracy do we really want?
Yes.
How do candidates for national and state assemblies emerge?
Yes.
That's the question.
You know, I read other countries' history. I discovered that it comes to a level in their life, national life, where majority gravitate towards one opinion. Almost. It may not be 100%. Oh, this is what we want. This is our national vision. Because where there is no vision, Bible says the people perish.
Yes.
So this is what we now want to, put for ourselves and aim towards it. For now, we have not come to that conclusion in our national life, because we still pursue the primordial sentiment and people come up with issue of religion and ethnicity. These are issues that divide us. For us to make progress, sir, we must look beyond all those sentiments and say, for us as a nation, this is what we want. This is our national vision. For people who are going to public office, because we see as if we are talking about only legislators. What of the executives? There was. Do you know how much the governors collect as allowances, sir? You and I are not even exposed to that. Do you know what the governors are doing to the local government fund that comes every month?
Have you even forgotten security votes?
Vote?
That one,
Do you know what the governors are doing? So let it not be as if we are attacking only legislators. No. If you see what politicians are doing in Nigeria, you develop headache.
Julius in Ekiti, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Really, the topic on grant is really an embarrassment to the country. How do I mean? You can just imagine where mass unemployment is everywhere. No infrastructure, nothing. And these people sit down to talk every day. only talking, no action backing them up. We are being impoverished every day, every second with this attitude. Come to think of it, somebody pay hard to attend school, to get education. At the end of the day, nothing is happening. We are talking about vices taking over the places. For how long are we going to continue looking at all this?
Yeah.
If our senators can just sit down and just be taking that much per month, and somebody is there, cannot feed comfortably 3 times in a day, even 2 times, and you are telling me somebody is carrying guns, it's sad. It's sad.
And these
the
ones are...
unfortunate thing is this, those who are carrying guns are not even facing the thieves, the big thieves. Sorry for using that word. You know, they'll be facing those who are even working hard, who are shedding tears every day.
All right. Yeah.
You know, it's pathetic.
Well.
And I don't know how we are going to cope this.
Thank you very much, Julius, for calling in.
I think we can also understand why Nigeria went into recession.
Well, we can. And the other thing, just when you reflect on this, as you say, most of us have known this. We're known in quotes.
In quotes, yes.
Because now we absolutely know. Now, the kind of monies that these senators are allocating to
and House of Reps, I don't keep on saying senators.
All of them are legislators,
all
of them are really in one body.
Both the State House of Assemblies, all of them.
The kind of society that we have does not want to pay that kind of money to university professors, does not want to pay that kind of money to teachers, does not want to pay that kind of money to doctors, all of whom directly affect the quality of our lives now and in the future. But then this society allows us for ships that pass in the night, which is what a lot of those legislators are, to carry this kind of money. There's a lot of thinking anytime we decide we're ready to address this issue. There's a lot of thinking. But I think the caveat is anytime we decide we are ready to decide it. A professor won't earn these figures. Is he not a teacher par excellence? We look at the kind of teachers we have that are being embarrassed by governors because they're not really teachers. We have people who started from the State Assembly, rose, you know, and then moved over to the national field because there's a what is it now? There's this richness of vision. That just keep yourself in good standing with your party, and they should allow you 8 years of collecting what, in one case 15 million. I know not all of them. So you see how people are empowered, a certain class only.
Yes, it seems to me that this elite, this political class, some of them, majority of them, see politics as business.
What are you saying?
Say some.
What are you saying?
Business.
And that is the
business in Nigeria. That's the cocoa of the matter.
Nobody goes to the National Assembly today. In this mix that we have,
it's chop and chop.
I'm sorry. You're going to have a hard job justifying your position that people actually go there for the job. In fact, if we wanted to know whether people were going there for the job, remember that my other ridiculous idea. Let it be our policy that no legislator shall get more than 100,000 naira a month. In other words, we don't pay you. We don't.
You are there to serve.
You're there to serve, and you can only do that after you've made a success in life.
You are private enterprise.
If Dangote were to come into the Senate, for instance, he doesn't need anybody's 15 million.
Sir. That is the point.
And those Dangotes up and down, not all of them. Dangote is the richest man in Africa. You don't need to be the richest man. People who are even maybe the 10th richest man in Nigeria, they could go to the Senate, go to the House of Reps, and serve. That would be their contribution by way of giving back. This is not giving back. Sir, this is not giving back. This is taking more.
Sir, actually go and study the life of a senator in US. Look at his antecedent. What you have just narrated is actually what happens.
This is where the idea came from.
Who have made success in their private enterprise are people that go to the Senate.
This is where I got the idea from.
To go and make laws for the people. Those who come into governance actually in any of these developed economies are people who have contributed to humanity and society in their private capacity, and they now want to affect majority of lives. They've done it in private life, but they want to now affect majority.
I don't know how far it is true, but I think I heard that American ambassadors are not paid by the American government. It's very much this arrangement that you would have made it in life, and so you don't need anybody's salary. So the honor of serving your country, outside of your country, you know, millionaires are putting their business on hold, handing it over to someone so that they can go and become an ambassador somewhere.
So seriously speaking, sir, so when this change of a thing, you know, the music was being, we were singing it in 2015, sir, I felt so good. I said, look, we will change the narratives. So I felt that all these things we start, the foundation of a nation is very key, the vision of a people, you know, very important. Can we come and change the way we do things, the politics? The issue of remuneration.
Buhari wanted to do it, but he's being fought to a standstill.
So why he only? How can you have only one man believing in it? So other people do not key into that vision.
Maybe Mazi Okorafor, weigh in on that matter. Good morning.
Mr. Honestly speaking, let me tell you one thing. First of all, good morning, Mr. Yuda, our guest. See, the problem we are facing is this. And even all these senators, at the jumbo salary we are talking about, they have just gone to their own constituency, solve the problem within their own senatorial zone. I said there will be no robbery, there will be no kidnapping, there will be no Boko Haram. Now look at the situation we are facing. These senators that went to this cabinet, collecting this kind of jumbo salary, jumbo money, they are the people increasing the crime rate in this country. But if you check right now, 80% of all these crime rates are the ones they use during the election. And everybody has started and they are not recouping the money. And when they come back, they will come back and start using another group to do what? To go and fight for the election. At the end of the day, you are increasing the number of what? Criminals we have in this country. Now, the issue is this. If Nigeria wants reality, there is no governor in any state should be given opportunity to go to as a senator. All the governors should go back and make use of the resources they have gathered from the state and inject it inside the state, not to go as a senator. And secondly, if Nigeria wants the truth position, all the senators that have gone, all of them, we should tell them bye-bye and then and we should look for people who have a job to contest us. Many of them are just droppers. They don't have a tangible job. They go, they collect money and come back and establish it. And they are not inside a business that will give opportunity for the youth to do what? To move. Please, we should not allow all this continuation of jumbo salary. It's too much. Only Nigeria. You saw what happened in Kenya between the Ojinga and Kenyatta. I think they are settled. Can it happen in Nigeria? Thank you very much.
Indeed, thank you very much. I remember right now of blessed memory, Gani Fawemi, S.A.N.
Yes.
He was in politics. The kind of politics is the kind of politics that you'd expect a change administration to be following. He wasn't going to be passing anybody anything.
That's right.
But you see, we laughed at him. All of us, we didn't let him make 1 inch progress. So in this, Gani Fawemi, well-loved, the people's lawyer, fighting for the common man, gave his life for the ordinary man. But he just said, put my party in office and let us multiply this radicalism on behalf of the people. The very people rejected him.
As legislators listen to us in this discussion, very, very important discussion, they need to search their conscience. Where is the element of sacrifice? Sacrifice.
Barrister Shitu, you're coming up with all these words.
I don't know.
Sacrifice.
It's coming from...
We're talking about the Nigerian senator. We're talking about the Nigerian legislature. There is no sacrifice among the politicians, but that is, maybe let me qualify that by saying that I am aware of. What are they sacrificing? Well, when every legislator, since Dangote isn't in the Senate or the National Assembly, every legislator, no, let me paraphrase that. Most legislators have had their life improved for being in the legislature. I mean, demonstrably. So it's a radical change, so much so that we heard stories of what people will do for office. If need be, you sleep overnight in a car.
Okay, about public office, being public trust.
And we go back to, these are the ideals that Buhari had. But as Onyekachi says, why is he alone? Why is it possible for him to be fought to a standstill?
In a country
why
of
is everybody not buying into that dream, that idea?
You recall that only President Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo publicly declared the access.
Yes. Did people follow suit?
No.
Mr. Okpara in VI, good morning, sir. Did I leave it too long?
I think yes, you did.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Mr. Okpara, see if you can get in again. I'll cut myself mid-sentence if necessary. So it still goes back to, again, Wahab said, what kind of democracy do we really want?
Yes.
How do candidates for national and state assemblies emerge?
Yes.
That's the question.
You know, I read other countries' history. I discovered that it comes to a level in their life, national life, where majority gravitate towards one opinion. Almost. It may not be 100%. Oh, this is what we want. This is our national vision. Because where there is no vision, the Bible says the people perish.
Yes.
So this is what we now want to, put for ourselves and aim towards it. For now, we have not come to that conclusion in our national life, because we still pursue the primordial sentiment and people come up with issue of religion and ethnicity. These are issues that divide us. For us to make progress, sir, we must look beyond all those sentiments and say, for us as a nation, this is what we want. This is our national vision. For people who are going to public office, because we see as if we are talking about only legislators. What of the executives? There was. Do you know how much the governors collect as allowances, sir? You and I are not even exposed to that. Do you know what the governors are doing to the local government fund that comes every month?
Have you even forgotten security vote?
Vote?
That one, no.
Do you know what the governors
whatsoever.
are doing? So let it not be as if we are attacking only legislators.
No.
If you see what politicians are doing in Nigeria, you develop headache.
Julius in Ekiti, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Really, the topic on grant is really an embarrassment to the country. How do I mean? You can just imagine where mass unemployment is everywhere. No infrastructure, nothing. And these people sit down to talk every day. Only talking, no action backing them up. We are being impoverished every day, every second. With this attitude. Come to think of it, somebody pay hard to attend school to get education. At the end of the day, nothing is happening. We are talking about vices taking over the places. For how long are we going to continue looking at all this?
Yeah.
If our senators can just sit down and just be taking that much per month, and somebody is there, cannot feed comfortably 3 times in a day, even 2 times, and they are telling me somebody is carrying gun. It's sad. It's sad.
And these
the
ones are...
unfortunate thing is this, those who are carrying guns are not even facing the thieves, the big thieves. Sorry for using that word. They'll be facing those who are even working hard, who are shedding tears every day.
All right. Yeah.
It's pathetic.
Well.
And I don't know how we are going to curb this.
Thank you very much, Julius, for calling in.
I think we can also understand why Nigeria went into recession.
Well, we can. And the other thing, just when you reflect on this, as you say, most of us have known this. We're known in quotes.
In quote, yes.
Because now we absolutely know. Now, the kind of monies that these senators are allocating to
and House of Reps, I don't keep on saying senators.
All of them are legislators.
All
of them are really in one body.
Both the State House of Assemblies, all of them.
The kind of society that we have does not want to pay that kind of money to university professors, does not want to pay that kind of money to teachers, does not want to pay that kind of money to doctors, all of whom directly affect the quality of our lives now and in the future. But then this society allows us for ships that pass in the night, which is what a lot of those legislators are, to carry this kind of money. There's a lot of thinking anytime we decide we're ready to address this issue. There's a lot of thinking. But I think the caveat is anytime we decide we are ready to decide it. A professor won't earn these figures. Is he not a teacher par excellence? We look at the kind of teachers we have that are being embarrassed by governors because they're not really teachers. They just have that name and certification. Now, if you were to pay this kind of money, will there not be first-class teachers up and down the line?
I certainly agree with you. But some of them are...
Mr. George, thank you for holding on. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori, and good morning to your panelists.
Good morning.
Uncle Yori, we will remain in this situation if we do not do something and we just keep talking. The humongous illegal collections that these are lawmakers make is not just that one, but the looting, the actual looting they take is from the budget. The mundane work I do takes me to federal government parastatals. And the civil servants can tell you something if they open up, that it is a budget of sharing. If these ones that the Rampact approved is what they are collecting alone, it's not even as questionable as those illegal ones. So money will be budgeted for a project. You don't see the project executed, and the money is paid. You don't know where the money goes. Nothing returned. One kobo does not come back to the government as money unspent. Now, if people who are talking about restructuring, in my view, restructuring that should be done should start with the National Assembly. This economy cannot sustain the kind of expenditure that our lawmakers are making us to incur. Let's have one single house of 5 representatives from one state and do away with the Senate. We don't need them.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. George. We've run out of time completely.
Yes.
I guess what's left is to wait on the leadership or the body of the Senate to actually comment on this. And indeed, let's see what they are going to tell us they are going to do about it.
Yes.
And that is why I suggested that they're just going to look the other way and find something else to distract themselves with, and hopefully us as well.
They shouldn't.
Because the only thing that we want to hear, I imagine, would be that, you know what, we've been caught out, Nigerians. First of all, we're going to cut that thing by 3/4.
It's not them cutting. Revenue Commission, allocation or whatever they call themselves.
Should go and do
it's
its
not,
job.
It's not for them to allocate.
Again, we also have to look at the bigger picture.
Completely ran out
The
of
cost of governance.
Yeah, the cost of governance. These people don't believe in lean government.
You know why God is angry with us? Is that we have failed to repent. I'm just telling you, unless we repent, all our prayers will go to no. I'm just telling you.
Oh dear. This brings us back to the matter of national spiritual rebirth.
Yes.
Okay, Onyeka Chiubani,
Thank you.
Second National Vice President, MBA. Thank you very, very much for coming on. And Wahab Shitu, Law Lecturer, University of Lagos. Thank you very, very much for coming on as well.
My pleasure.
And sharing your perspective.
Thank you, sir.
That's our program. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.